video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is Captain Trek. How are you doing this morning, brother?
Doing all right. How are you?
I am doing great, and good morning to Purple Valkyrie and Samantha Joe. The Valkyries are here. Captain Trek obviously is here. Kronos, Positive Candor, good morning. Speaker for the Dead, Fenrir Fire, Yotam Darkstar, good morning. D.D. Myers. Project Storytime is here. How are you doing, brother? B-Star 333 is in the chat, folks. How are you doing? B-Star Dave Bob, how are you doing, brother? Lady Q, Colin P. Smith, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Mark the Infinitely Voided is here, ladies and gentlemen. He's no longer infinitely tired. He is now infinitely voided. How about them apples? Mr. Hyde, good morning, Mr. Hyde. How are you doing? Robert Pearson, good morning. Good morning to everybody out there. Matthew Birkland, hail. Hail, how are you doing? Sit Room, Cred Sox 5, Darth Monkey, O'Rath, good morning. Yes, and we are here to talk some Farscape. We are here to talk about the end of season 1 and the beginning of we already got one this morning. Hello, Trey from Max World Entertainment. He is here, and you know what that means. You ready, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Skull!
There it is! It's you! Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And Trey from Max World Entertainment says, Dabo, motherfucker. Fokker. Yeah, Fokker. F-O-C-K-E-R.
Of course.
Of course. Oh, man. So we have gotten through season 1. This is the very end of the first season. The last episode we watched was Nerve. And we saw Crichton getting tortured by the Peacekeepers, by Scorpius.
Yep.
And you've got to wonder what Scorpius is. Well, we find out in these last 3 episodes that Scorpius is a half-breed. He is half Peacekeeper or Sebastian, and he is half Scaran. And we haven't seen a Scaran yet. We have not seen a Scaran yet so far in the first season, but we now know that Scorpius is something of a half-breed. So we start out part 2 of Nerve, which is called The Hidden Memory. And the synopsis for that is, after a partial recovery, Aaron leads Zan and Dargo to the Gammak base to rescue Crichton. At the base, Jelena, PK Tech Girl, that's what I call her anyway, does her best to help Crichton, who is being repeatedly subjected to the Aurora chair by Scorpius and Crais. Elsewhere, Chiana and Rigel have problems of their own when the pregnant Moya goes into labor. So, obviously, Scorpius has Crichton back in the chair and is torturing him for information about wormholes.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants the wormhole tech.
Of course he does, because that would give him power.
That would give him power, and that's what his little gamma base is all about, is wormholes. Good morning, Pudgy. Good morning, Pudgy. How are you guys doing, Cobalt and Pudgy? So Jelena hatches a plan and tells Crichton that he needs to think about the kiss they shared on the Zelbinian.
Yep.
In a previous episode. And Crichton says, no, that's exactly what I'm hiding. That is exactly what I'm hiding from the chair. I can't think about that because I'm trying to protect you. And she says, just think about the kiss. And obviously we've met Stark. My side, your side, my side, your side, my side, your side. And Stark is also being tortured by Scorpius, but he's able to hold on to a memory. He's able to hold on to a very specific memory. And there is another $2 tip from Trey at Max World Entertainment. Thank you so much, Trey. And here we go again, guys. Score!
There it is! It's you! Take your hat off, boy, that's a dollar bill!
And Trey says, okay, Grammit, skull. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so very much. All of you, each and every one of you. Thank you all. You guys keep the lights on. You keep us coming back week after week. I so very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Trey. So Crichton does it. And as Crais, our big bad peacekeeper boy Crais, and Scorpius watch, suddenly the Aurora chair geeks out, and you see a picture of Crichton talking to Crais, and they talk about wormholes. And Crichton makes a bargain with Crais. He hands him a chip on wormholes in exchange for his freedom. That never happened.
No.
So Crais is flipping out. It's a lie. You're lying, Crichton. And Scorpius says, the chat doesn't lie. So they pop Crichton out of the chair and they throw Crais's ass in there. Meanwhile, Aaron is recovering on Moya from her stab wound. Chiana was able to get the regenerative device to her, and they were able to repair her nerve that was damaged that wasn't going to heal.
Yeah.
And she starts to mount a rescue to get Crichton. She finds out Crichton's still on the Gamma base being tortured by Scorpius. Yes. And that she puts, what did you think about her immediately getting her ass up and going to save Crichton?
Well, that was definitely in character for her. It's like, oh, you need to rest more. No.
No.
He needs rescued now. You can't wait. Nobody else can do it. I gotta go.
Yep. And going back to the beginning of the series, the very beginning, did you ever think that she would do that?
Oh, hell no. Mm-mm.
No. Hell no.
Not at the beginning. No way.
And Dargo is immediately like, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
And Zan decides, I'm going with you too. The two people that stay on the ship is Rigel and Chiana. And Dargo, Zan, and Aaron go after Crichton. This is now a family. This is them saying, we're going to stand together and we're going to get him back because he's family.
Yeah.
Everything from the beginning of the show, everyone out for themselves, everyone only caring about themselves. The greed, even Rigel's greed has waned in the face of family and helping family.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's been quite a change from the beginning.
yeah, it has been a very big change from the beginning. What are your feelings now that you've gotten through the first season? What are your feelings now on this show?
Wow. I'm quite impressed. I am. I started out going, and yeah, I have to say I like it. I do.
And when I say it's just going to get better, I mean even from here, it's just going to get better. It just keeps getting better.
Really?
Yes, it just keeps getting better. There are people that don't like the Peacekeeper War miniseries that basically closes everything out, but I like it. I still like it. They were rushed. They didn't have a whole season to tell a story. They had 3 hours and 15 minutes to tell a story.
That would explain it. I haven't seen it, but that would explain why people wouldn't like it.
And Dave Bob just tipped $2. Thank you so very much, brother. And here we go again. Skull!
Skull!
There it is! It's you! Take your hat off, boy, that's a dollar bill!
And Dave Bob says, Virginia Hay, Claudia Black, and Gigi Edgley. Oh, I do not disagree with you, brother. I absolutely do not disagree with you. Although I was always partial to Aaron. Chiana was great. Virginia Hay was great as Zan, but I was always partial to the kick-ass Aaron Sung and Claudia Black.
Oh, yes.
So they've got Crace in the chair, and they're torturing his ass. And it's not the same memory.
Nope.
He lied to the Aurora chair. How did he do that? PK Tech Girl, Jelena, inserted a device into the Aurora chair when no one was looking, and it let her implant a false memory in the chair.
Yep.
That she could control, that would show what happened. Absolutely brilliant. Aaron gets to the base, and Aaron and Dargo and Zan stay on the very top of the base while Aaron goes in to infiltrate. She is able to get Crichton out with the help of Jelena, and they start to make their escape. Meanwhile, back on Moya is giving birth. And something is very, very wrong with the baby. This is not a normal Leviathan pregnancy. What
Not at all.
Moya is pregnant with is a Leviathan gunship. It is a hybrid Peacekeeper Leviathan gunship. Leviathans don't have weapons. They have no offensive weapons. That is the way they were created by their god. Living ships that explore the galaxy peacefully. And it's not an easy pregnancy. Chiana and Rigel have to basically help get the baby out because it's stuck because of the guns. It was never meant to. Moya was never meant to give birth to a gunship.
No. Well,
So
no Leviathan was. So
no
yeah.
Leviathan was. And in the last episode where you're the cover, Crace admits that every time the Peacekeepers tried this, it resulted in the death of the baby and the death of the Leviathan giving birth. Because it was never meant to happen. The difference between Moya and those Leviathans were that those Leviathans had control collars on them.
Ah, okay. So that was the key.
That was the key. That was the key. And this goes back to the very first episode. You have to kind of connect the dots yourself. But when Dargo was ripping out wires from the consoles, you see the control collar pop off in pieces. That was meant to happen when Moya gave birth. They never come out and tell you that. That's kind of one of those things in the show you kind of got to figure out yourself. That control collar had safeties to where there was nothing you could do to take it off. But there was a built-in failsafe for when she went into labor, they could hit a button and pop the control collar off, which normally was never set up like that.
Wow.
So they're able to get the baby out safely. They have to actually cut a piece of Moya using one of Talon's own weapons. And of course, they haven't named the baby Talon yet, not until the last episode of this season, which we will get to here in a minute. Quickly, because we're going to run out of time if we keep talking about this one single episode, even though we should.
Exactly.
Because this is a great, wonderful episode, guys. This is
it is.
To me, one of the best episodes because you really get into John becoming John. John will never be the same after this. John's going to kind of go a little wacky after this. They get him out. Aaron ends up going by. She ends up hearing screaming and going by the Aurora chair chamber. And there's Crace. And Aaron gets her vengeance. And this is, to me, this was so important because she talks to Crace. She tells him, you took everything away from me, but I'm happy that you did. And cranks the Aurora chair up to full and leaves Crace in that chair.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of like his penance for saying that she was irreversibly contaminated by an alien species, which was all bullshit. He was just pissed at Crichton. He was pissed that Crichton killed his brother. Dave, Bob, you have a great morning, brother. You have a good one. So
Absolutely have a great one.
Yes. With the help of Jelena, PK Tech Girl, they're able to get out of the base with Crichton. They have a throwdown with Scorpius on the roof of the Gamic base. And Jelena is shot. And so is Scorpius. Obviously, Scorpius survives, though. Almost like that black armor of his keeps him from getting hurt when he gets shot. Something we'll have to find out about later. And Jelena dies once they get back to Moya. But we have a new problem. Moya has a baby, and that baby is a gunship. Talon is a gunship. So we know that Crichton and Aaron have a very different relationship now. And that's something that we're going to have to see grow. Bone to be Wild is another filler episode. I never understood why they threw this in between Hidden Memory and Family Ties because Family Ties could have almost been the part 3 of Nerve and the Hidden Memory. So we get Bone to be Wild in the middle here. While on the run from the Peacekeepers, the crew of Moya takes shelter in a hollow asteroid that has a breathable atmosphere and is filled with flora, plants. They soon discover that the asteroid is not as free of predators as they thought. And good morning, Nina Green. How are you this morning? And Jedi Bill 797. You could almost spend 5 minutes talking about this episode and it'd be enough.
Yes.
You've got a monster that is eating people. You have got a scientist that is collecting flora samples, and the monster has eaten all of the scientists' fellow scientists. And this plant is full, or this asteroid is full of plants, all these different plants. And of course, Zan is like geeking out over this because Zan is a plant. Not Ryan Johnson. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, not Ryan Johnson.
And Jules 25. Good morning. Yeah. Anticipation getting to the top of the roller coaster. Hold on to your seats. Best ride ever is about to begin. That is so true, Jules 25. That's pretty much all of this episode. Like I said, we could spend 5 minutes talking about it and be enough. Predator versus prey. Except that nothing about any of this feels right. The scientist doesn't feel right. The monster doesn't feel right. The monster is like, help me, please help me. This guy's trying to kill me. The scientist tells him, no, it's not me. It's her. She ate my entire crew that was on this planet. And the crew is stuck in the middle. But nothing is as it seems.
Oh, no.
The predator is starving because this predator, this bone to be wild, eats the marrow out of people's bones. That's how it survives. It eats the marrow out of people's bones. Zan eventually is captured by the scientist and he convinces her, I'm not the bad guy. It's the predator. It's this thing. It ate all my people. And they start working on a plan to take this thing down. Meanwhile, the scientist realizes that Zan is a plant. And that's all he collects is plants.
Yep.
And of course, what does he want, Cap?
He wants her.
He wants her.
Yep.
What did you think about this episode?
Well, it was definitely there were definitely twists in there. With her saying how what they were doing to kill her people. Unfortunately, I bought into it at first.
Yeah. The weak, helpless girl asking for help. Girl alien, female alien. I did too. And they did too. The crew did too. Fenrir Fire, bone marrow meatloaf time. Yes. The crew fell for it. We fell for it. I fell for it. The scientist is a monster of an alien. So you're like, oh yeah, you can believe that. But
Yep.
Nothing's ever that simple, especially after Crichton's been in the chair. So the scientist betrays the crew, tries to get Zan, and they end up getting off the planet. And that ain't the predator that is just screaming to eat ends up being left there. And then the peacekeepers show up. Do you think Scorpius is going to keep her around?
Wow. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, it's not something you would think about. She, of course, is hungry. Food, glorious food, yes. I think Scorpius would keep her around just for fun. So we'll move on because this is a big episode. Family Ties, Part 1. When Rigel decides to sell out the crew of Moya to the Peacekeepers, the crew must come up with a way to escape capture. Their luck changes when Rigel returns along with Krace. They formulate a risky plan to destroy the Gamma base. Did you think at the very beginning of the episode when everybody's freaking out and Aaron's talking about it's always the smallest link that's the weakest, that Rigel was going to do what he did?
No, I didn't.
So Rigel is in a in one of Moya's pods, shuttle pods, and is hauling ass to get to the Peacekeepers. He makes a deal with Scorpius that he will give him Crichton if he helps him take back the Hynerian Empire. That's all Rigel. That's the Rigel we've known since the very beginning. I want your stuff, and I want my stuff back,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll do anything I can to get it. But they're hiding. They're hiding in this asteroid field. They're just getting to know Talon. And I don't think Aaron has even named him at the beginning of this episode Talon yet.
No.
But she's talking to Talon and she's on board Talon. And it's a very different Leviathan. It's a very, very different Leviathan than Moya. It has a very small control center. Everything is very Spartan. Yeah, Lady Q. Mine. Yes. Yes, Lady Q. That describes Rigel perfectly at this point. You know, did you have any like, did you think that Scorpius would honestly make a deal with Rigel? Did we lose you, Cap?
What?
Do you think that Scorpius would actually make a deal and honor it with Rigel?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Never.
Well, Rigel thinks he will. He thinks Krace will make sure that Scorpius honors his deal. But there is a shift of power on Krace's ship, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
And Scorpius is...
It's not his ship anymore.
No, it's not. It's not Krace's ship anymore. It's Scorpius. Scorpius has taken command of Krace's peacekeeper ship, his command carrier. So Krace makes a deal. He makes a deal with Rigel. He shows Rigel Rigel's certificate of death, even though Rigel isn't dead yet, and tells him Scorpius will never, ever honor a deal with you.
No.
And Rigel ends up hauling ass back to Moya in Moya's shuttle pod with Krace. So when they go to talk to Rigel, they now have to deal with Krace being on board Moya. And Krace wants something, doesn't he?
Oh, yes.
What did Krace want?
He wanted amnesty. He wanted to be able to get away from the peacekeepers.
He asked for amnesty, but he also wants access to Talon.
True.
And we get a wonderful conversation between Krace and Aaron concerning Talon. And you find out that the Peacekeepers have tried this before. This was Krace's pet project. This is why they were trying to retake the Leviathan. And you don't have all the answers. All the answers are coming. You're going to find out how this happened. You're going to find out how Moya was impregnated by a Peacekeeper gunship. And who did it. And how Krace was involved. But Krace knows far more than he is saying. Back in an earlier episode, there was a seal that Dargo broke inside Moya. And it was the episode where he was wandering around the ship incoherent, talking about his wife. But that was preventing Moya from getting pregnant. The Peacekeepers set all this up. They set all of this up with Moya and Talon. And it was Krace's pet project. This was Krace's pet project. This is why they were out close to the unknown regions. This is why they were there when Crichton came through the wormhole at the very beginning of the show. Krace was keeping an eye on Moya because he was waiting on Moya to get pregnant with Talon. And he wants Talon, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Talon does not have to have a pilot like Moya. They talk about that. It was designed to respond to Peacekeeper commands, communicate on Peacekeeper frequencies. They had done everything to try and make one of these and were never successful because of the control collar. The child and the mother Leviathan always perished in the birthing process. And of course, Krace is livid and excited and in awe of this Peacekeeper Leviathan. Darth Monkey Othrath, yes, when a mommy ship and a daddy ship really love each other. And you know Krace is going to screw them over. There's absolutely no question that Krace is going to screw them over. So they formulate a plan to get Scorpius off their ass. Crichton and Dargo and Aaron work it all out, and they are going to ignite the atmosphere of the mining colony that has the Gamma base on it. And they're going to draw Scorpius, because now Scorpius wants the gunship. They're going to draw Scorpius away from Moya and Talon so that Moya can starburst with Talon tucked in close enough that Talon will follow her through the starburst while they go and destroy the Gamma base. And the plan is Crichton and Dargo will fly the shuttle pod full of Lutra oil back to the planet, back to the base, ignite the atmosphere while they are still in space. They're going to ditch. Dargo can survive in the vacuum of space. We saw this in an earlier episode. The same episode where he breaks the seal that gets Moya pregnant.
Yep.
They will wait for Aaron, who will show up in a prowler, to pick them up and take them to safety so that Moya and Talon can starburst and get out. All of it is to save Moya and Talon and the baby. They initiate this plan. They are on the way to the Gamma base. Scorpius is chasing them now. He is pulled away from Moya and Talon from finding them in this asteroid field. He is chasing them. And that's when things go bad. Things go really, really bad. Krace gets onto Talon and steals Talon. And basically gives them all the finger, just like Crichton and Aaron said he would.
Yeah.
The plan works besides that, and they're able to ignite the atmosphere of this planet and to destroy Scorpius's Gamma base, along with all of his research on wormholes. Now that they've done this, and good morning, Life with Matthew. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Life with Matthew. And you better be doing your virtual pub next week.
Now that they've lit this base on fire and destroyed all of Scorpius's research, Crichton is the only one that can get Scorpius what he wants. So instead of being chased by the insane Peacekeeper Commander Krace, he is now going to be chased by a Peacekeeper Black operative, Scaran Halfbreed, that has access to many more resources than Krace and has a direct line to the Peacekeeper High Command. He can pretty much do what he wants because they want the wormhole weapon. We'll get to that point eventually. But so many good things are happening and so many bad things all at the same time. Krace steals Talon. Dargo is dying in space. Aaron is not able to get to them. Moya will not leave the asteroid field because she will not leave her baby in the hands of Krace. And that is when Crichton contacts her and said, Moya, I understand you don't want to leave your baby, but you have to understand something. We did all of this for you and your baby. And if you get captured by the Peacekeepers, you will not be able to look for Talon. You will not be able to search for Talon. We love you. We love Talon. All of this has been for you because we love you. Get out of here and get out of here now before the Peacekeepers turn around and come and get you.
Yeah.
And instead of refusing, Moya goes into Starburst with Rigel, Chiana, and Zan on board.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron cannot get to Crichton and Dargo, and they are left floating in space. And that is the end of season 1.
Yeah, that was not my favorite part, I'll admit.
No, and I really don't know. I don't know if they were uncertain whether they'd be back. I don't know if they were uncertain if the actors would sign on for more, but they made a decision to end it the way they did. And you've got to wait. You had to wait. You had to wait, what, 3 or 4 months for the next episode?
Wow. At least I don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to. I remember watching Next Gen with a buddy of mine and watching Best of Both Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
And it ends with Riker saying fire, and you've got the dun 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 dun. And he's like, "Oh, what the hell?" I was like, "Hey, you got to wait like a minute for the next episode." I had to wait 4 months to find out what the hell happened to Picard and the crew. So don't bitch.
Yeah, the closing of the episode, fire. And it's like not knowing what'll happen. Yeah.
But I wanna get your opinion on the season as a whole, from start to finish, and grade it if you want to. If you want to give it a rating, by all means, brother. The floor is completely and totally yours.
With the start of it, I would have really gone low. And there have been a couple episodes that were not so good. But overall, I would definitely rate it a solid 7. Possibly even 8. But definitely a 7, because it is that good.
Pluses, minuses throughout the first season. Things you like, things you didn't really like.
Well, like I said, there were a couple episodes like that one where Moya was split between the 3, and that jumping between the 3 realities. Oh my! No, there like I said, there were episodes like that one you could just skip. I mean, really, the opening and closing are the only real things worth anything, honestly. But overall, the series is good, and I think definitely worth a watch.
And Saucy Wench, you can watch it on Amazon. There are DVDs and there are Blu-rays. I've got the anniversary set on Blu-ray, and it is not that expensive. I think I paid $60, and you get the Peacekeeper Wars. So you get the entire series on Blu-ray and the Peacekeeper Wars.
Now, I will say that on Amazon, there have been a few episodes that have been pulled.
Really?
Currently available. Yeah. A couple of them are, let's see here. PT Tech Girl is one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of the best episodes.
IET is another one.
Wow.
So those 2 have been pulled for now. They're not available on Amazon.
Wow. That is insane. I'm actually looking at that right now. You're right. Holy crap. PK Tech Girl, IET. Wow. Something must be going on with someone in those episodes that they won't do, the video is currently not available. That is absolutely insane. Do they do that on? I'm looking at the rest of the season 2 is completely there. That is odd. Season 3 is completely there. Why would they pull 2 episodes off of season 1 like that?
I don't know. That
Netflix used to do that.
They only have honestly off. Yeah.
That is really, really odd that they would do that. Does anybody know why? Anybody out there in the chat know why they would do that?
Because that would definitely be a good thing to know. Why would they pull those episodes?
Problematic about them. That's possible.
Yeah.
That is possible. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that because I mean it's of course they're out of order. Why are Farscape episodes I'm not even done typing yet? It says out of order.
Now, IET was not exactly one of the top-rated episodes for me, so.
Okay, that was 2019. It doesn't say. It says complete series on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
That is really, really weird because the Peacekeeper Wars are on there too.
Well, we're just going to have to hope we make it far enough through with the series still on Amazon, because
yeah,
my only way to watch it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well there are other ways. If we have to watch them together, we can watch them together.
Okay.
As far as this first season goes for me, and this is what I told Cap when we started this, there are episodes in season 1 that I haven't watched in forever. I didn't even watch them when I got the Blu-ray because I was like, Jeremiah Crichton. I absolutely hate that episode. The episode with the other dimensions, I'm like, yeah, no. Because it's hard to get through them. Season 2 is not like that. Season 3 is not like that. Season 4 is not like that. Thank you, Samantha Joe. Thank you. And you too, Trey. You have a great day, brother. You have a wonderful, great day. But looking back, I have an easier time watching the first season. When this started, I didn't like it. I didn't even like the first episode. I was like, okay, so they're on a ship without any weapons. What fun is that going to be? But I grew to really love Moya. Moya is a character. She is not just the ship that gets you to and fro. She is a character in the series. She is just as important as Crichton, as Aaron, as Zan, as Dargo, as Rigel, Chiana, even just as important as the villains they face.
Yeah. And in a way, the characters of Mora and the pilot are almost, they're separate, but they're one at the same time.
Yeah.
They're tied together.
And because you never hear Moya talk.
No.
Any communication between Moya and the crew is done through pilot, right, except for one episode.
Yeah.
And that episode is coming.
I've heard that, but I've intentionally said I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Man, I'm not gonna ruin it either. I'm not gonna ruin it because it is.
Somebody did spoil that surprise, and it wasn't Loki. But yeah.
All right, guys. I give this first season. I agree with Cap. It's like a 7.5. But that's because it got good, especially towards the end of the first season. It's like, holy shit, who is this man in black? This evil shark tooth bastard that tortures the hero. And you have to see Crichton go through that. You have to see him go through the torture. You have to see him laying on the ground, almost in a haze, saying, beware of the chair, Will Robinson. Danger, danger, beware of the chair. And that is when I was like, holy shit, this is getting really good. And they don't lose that.
You're absolutely right.
That's what you're going to love, is they don't lose that. Everything from Lost in Space to Star Trek, Crichton cussing people out in Klingon, dude. It's coming. And the references to Earth things that nobody understands You know, when Crichton, I think Crichton looks at Aaron at one point and says, do or do not, there is no try. And you're like, holy shit. And she kind of knows because he tells these stories, you know, he tells these stories about things on Earth and heroes and a Jedi. And it's those little things that they threw in there that really make this show great. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to share that with Cap. I'm glad I get the opportunity to share that with each and every one of you. And we will be back next week with the beginning of season 2. As long as Cap still wants to do this. As long as Cap is still...
Oh, definitely. You better believe it.
All right. All right, guys.
You better believe it.
Thank you, Cap, for being here with me today. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone out there. Everyone have a great day. Adega, yes. Me and Adega are going to be kicking ass on Revolutionaries Part 2, the Revolutionary episode Part 2. We're going to talk some more American history and American patriotism. And I hope to see you all there tonight at 7 for 7 Kinds of Mischief. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is -6 GMT. Thank you guys so very much. We will catch you later today. And Cap, thank you again, brother.
Yes, thank you. And thank you everyone for coming. And
do you have any
do you
have any announcements or anything before we go?
No, nothing right now. I've got some stuff upcoming. But I'm gonna wait and talk about that another time.
Okay. All right. Catch you guys later. Have a great day, everyone.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.